The moment you help someone else become greater than yourself, that's when you become the greatest. Because it's cool to help someone become great, but can you help them become greater than you?
You know what's crazy is I'm the same way, bro. I like if you really like a lot of people who don't know me, they always say I look mean and angry and non-approachable.
Stack that money up to nobody as rich as me. Let's talk about our history. No, let's talk about that mystery. Let's sit down, have a personal talk. You gotta meet it with some action. We can show you how to walk. Ay, compounded interest, stacking up my digits. You ain't got no paper, we can show you how to get it. You a drug dealer, you could probably run a business.
Because that takes a level of destroying your pride, your ego, all of that. Your boastfulness, your I'm a man, I'm out. If you were to pass away today, what would you leave for the people behind you?
Yeah. Damn, bro. I left and went into the military to escape the bullshit. I graduated from Springbrook High School a year early so that I can.
Springbrook. Hey,
Yeah.
whoa, hold on. Whoa. My bad. Hold on, Springbrook. So my cousin was a basketball player back in, oh man, what was that? Was that 2000, like 11, 12-ish or something like that?
I was not, man. I graduated in 08.
His name was Chris Carter.
I was in the military by then.
Yeah, he was a point guard for Springbrook High School.
Okay.
But yeah, he was one of the best, man.
Yeah.
But okay, cool.
Yeah. So I graduated a year early I had a full ride to Morgan State. I could have went to college for free, but I was like, hell no, I'm out of here. I am gone. First thing smoking. But yeah, man, that speaks volume to me, bro. To hear what you went through and still have the strength, to
want to be safe, and two, go back to get the people that were hurting me.
I don't think I know I ain't had that type of strength because I was like, fuck all of them.
To make them safe.
Yeah, that's
It's like I cared about their safety more than I cared about my own.
That's deep, bro. That's deep. I'm telling you, this whole time we've been talking, I'm like, damn, like that's a level of strength that you're a strong motherfucker to do that. There's no way. I know I wouldn't have been able to. This motherfuckers I don't talk to this day because of the shit that they don't did when I was little. But I appreciate you being able to have that pride, that strength, all of that good shit. Cause I didn't, man, and I'm certain somebody else will be able to take this and do the same thing. So when you went into basic training and all that good stuff, you ended up not going active duty. Now, for those of you who don't know the difference between active duty and reserve, active duty is 7 days a week. Goddamn, it ain't no 9 to 5. It ain't no 5 days a week.
24/7, 365.25.
Your ass better be available 24/7. But for reserves, and correct me if I'm wrong, for what I understand, because I've never been reserved.
It's on the weekend.
You're on the weekend once a month,
and then twice in the summertime. But for me, for me, I actually was engaged in my unit. So I did. I was on funeral detail. So I did some funeral details, and I ended up getting on active duty orders for a couple days. Then they were like, man, we like what you do. So then they started doing like a week. Then I went from a week to 2 weeks, and I went for a whole 30 days, bro.
Yeah. So you did. How long did you do in the Army?
I did 12 years.
Damn. You just recently getting out then, yeah? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep. Going through the whole VA process and everything now.
Oh, yeah, we need to talk about that because you need to get that 100%. I actually just submitted I'm at 90 right now, but I need my 10%. And let me tell you this. I ain't give a fuck about that money because I've been out since 2014. I've never touched it. Ever since I got out. So
you never touched it?
Wow. I've never touched it.
Wow,
so,
bro.
And we'll get into it, but I finessed the Army the way they finessed my ass.
Bet.
So you talking, I don't know where it's at right now, but you talking probably 300,000-400,000 that just been sitting and getting paid. But I'm like, damn, I can double. Well, I'm really trying to get this 10% so I can save on my goddamn mortgage because my property tax $1,400 a month by itself. So that's really why I'm getting it. But I really sat and thought, I was like, damn, if I'm getting $2,700 now, just imagine what I can do with $4,200. Fuck that. Let's go ahead and get this extra 2%.
Listen,
10%.
bro. Listen, and you got dependents too, so it's like.
Yeah. So you did your time in the military. What time? I mean, how old is your oldest?
So my oldest is 7. She just had her birthday yesterday.
Okay. Happy birthday to the young lady.
Yeah. She turned 7 years old, man. And I told her, that, Dad was going to walk again, because after the accident, bro, like it really just took so much out of me. And, You know, the year before that, I said, hey, baby girl, you know, dad's gonna work on walking regular again. And, you know, at the time I was just wearing an orthopedic shoe, so I can only fit one shoe.
Yeah.
And, you know, during the whole year of 2023, I just started like working out and getting myself back in shape and doing things for myself. And bro, I started to realize that what I was doing was because I made a promise to my daughter.
Yeah.
Because she felt safe enough to say, Dad, I want to see you walk.
We're gonna get into it. Don't take us too deep.
No, I'm not.
Hold on. We about to get there.
So
let me.
Perfect.
We following a story here. So we don't got the child here. We got the grown up. Let's ease on to the daddyhood. So your oldest is 7. Your son is 3.
And then my youngest son is 3, and then my
so you got 3 kids.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I have a daughter and 2 sons. My oldest is 7, my oldest boy is 5, and then my youngest son is 3.
So it's 3. You 32. When did you get married?
I got married at 26.
This was before the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, no, this was actually no. So I got married after I had my daughter. So I had my daughter January 31st.
All same mom or
27.
different mom?
No, all same mom.
All right. So let's dive into that. So, what made you get married at such a young? Because I got married at 18, 17 or 18. I got married at 18, but it was only because I went in the military. You know, we in the military. You know what I mean? You get that extra bag. You get that extra bag. A couple bags every month if you're married or got kids. So, I ran off and got married at 17 or 18. What the hell made you want to get married at 27? You still have.
How old was I? 2017. That was
27.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was 27. Yeah, I was 27. Actually, I was 26 because I just 27. You're right. And honestly, man, I just I was at an intricate time in my life, bro, where like, I had just I had an accident, prior to graduating from college, and that just. Man, I got hit by a drunk driver and I was in the car, but that's another story, man. And,
I hope you sued their ass.
Oh, bro, let me tell you, he didn't even have insurance. So, of course, I sued him. But I could have got more money. However, the craziest thing is, bro, the state trooper that was driving that night, that pulled me over because I was driving 10 miles over. He pulled me over. He had my license. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm sitting, bro. 10 minutes go by. Nothing happens. I look to my left. I don't see no sirens in the back. I'm like, dude, did this dude just drive off on my license?
Yeah.
And then I turn to the left and I see this car coming at me at like 60 miles an hour. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to get hit. So I literally brace myself to the steering wheel and I get smashed into the back of my car at like 55 miles an hour, bro.
Shit.
And my head hits the steering wheel. I got the glass, from the shield in my face. And bro, like I just felt like my back just. I'm telling you, man, that was the hardest hit I'd ever experienced, getting hit from a car, just being inside the car, bro. Mind you, I had my seatbelt on and everything. So of course, they took me to the hospital, but this jackass of a cop gonna sit there and say, hey, I hope you feel better. I hope everything was okay. Oh, here's a $295 ticket.
Damn.
Like, dude, I'm sitting here on the bed looking at you, can barely feel my back, and you want to give me a ticket?
Damn.
After you done moved out of the way for me to get hit?
Damn.
Okay, cool.
Well, I wish you would have known me back then, because I got a hell of a lawyer, and that lawyer, he gets you hell of a bands.
Man.
So,
but anyways.
where'd you meet your wife at?
So I met my wife at Bowie State University.
Oh, that's where you went to school?
Yeah, I went to Bowie State University, man, and I was actually a mascot there, man.
Okay.
I did my venture thing at Bowie, like I was just always like that guy that just wanted to, be in the know and be around people and just give off energy of positivity and encouragement, because that's just who I was. Like, because I was tired of seeing people so down. But where do you think I got that from? Childhood.
What's crazy is I'm the same way, bro. I like, if you really, like, a lot of people who don't know me, they always say I look mean and angry and non-approachable. But if you really know me, you know that I'm a very genuine, kind-hearted person. And it's crazy that you can go through so much trauma and so much shit, but still have such a beautiful heart. That's what's up, bro. Yeah. So you go to Bowie, you meet the wife.
Yeah, man. And just,
were the kids playing?
Nah, man, the kids weren't playing.
So
at all,
you was just
bro.
doing you.
We was just doing us, man.
All right.
We were living life, man.
But was marriage a conversation, or was it like, all right?
Honestly, bro, I didn't have the conversation. I was just planning things as a surprise because I thought that's what she liked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey, you're talking about a 27-year-old that has no instruction of what it's like to date, or what it's like to court, or what it's like to take a girl out, or what it's like to do this, or what it's like to do that. I have to sit here and learn through trial and error, but still getting taken advantage of.
Question real quick, because you just brought up a great point. What was your wife's upbringing like? Did she have trauma? Did she have bullshit, or did she have a somewhat stable, good home?
She had to go through some things,
Okay.
you know, but her parents were still in her life and things like that, you know, and her parents do, you know, help guide her, and you know, they spend time, man. Her family is big, like her family loves like spending time. That's their thing. They spend time together. They plan events.
Yeah.
They, you know, they got group texts and basketball games and you know kids events. So like they're very involved. And
Yeah, I was just. I'm not to cut you off.
Yeah, no,
but I was asking that because you know when you come from, you know, our upbringing, and then you end up running into a young lady who's never, you know, endured any of the things that we had to. We sometimes don't understand and see things
Absolutely,
the same way. So, and I'm only saying this because you were saying I wasn't taught these things as a child, how as a man. I mean, as a child, how to properly court, you know, how to open doors and all that stuff. So,
now, mind you, I was still doing that stuff, bro. Like
Yeah.
in college, I was learning that. That was my time to,
Yeah.
you know, test certain things out, how to speak to them, and you know,
Yeah.
hey, I was always saying, you know, hey,
But it was
how you doing?
self-taught, right?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was self-taught. So, and a lot of that self-taught, there were a lot of self errors too.
yeah.
You know, not just errors, but there were some self errors, and that's where, you know, we as men have to really get to a point where not only are we fixing the errors in our life, but we got to fix some self errors too.
Yeah.
Like stuff that, you know, that we did. And it's funny how everybody keeps talking about, oh, you know, even though the weapons are formed, you know, they never prosper. But what about the weapons that we allow to form and prosper ourselves?
Facts.
Nobody sits to ask that question.
Facts.
What about the stuff that we're allowing to recycle and continue? What about that?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Those self errors we got to fix. We got to really go do a deep dive into the self errors, and that's how you develop the difference between the mindset and the heart set. Because what people don't realize, yes, you have a mindset, but the heart also has a mindset of its own.
Yeah.
Because the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So that means your heart is thinking just like your mind.
Yeah.
How do you think people become wealthy? They don't become just wealthy in their mind, they become wealthy in their heart, their health. Because in the word heart is the word hear.
I'm about to start dropping that shit.
And faith come by what? Faith come by hearing, not just in here, but in here.
When did you find your faith? You know at what age you were?
Bro, honestly, you want to know when I really found God? August 1st of 2021.
That accident.
That,
We about to get there. Hold on. Don't just hold that thought right
I'm
there.
holding it.
We about to come into it. God damn it.
I'm
So
holding
we meet wifey. Y'all finally dating. You finally cross over to the whole marriage thing. Were you ready for that? Is this something? Is
Bro,
this?
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you because of the level of I was not ready. I'll put it that way. Yeah, let me be real. I wasn't ready. However, I had the potential to be ready.
Yeah. So why'd y'all do it?
I did it because this woman, out of all I was going through, I just said, you know what? I need some peace in my life.
Yeah.
Like I need some peace in my life, and here this woman is. You know, I get to a point where, you know, I'm applying for the State Department, you know, to get my clearance and stuff like that, to really start going in, you know, because I had a criminal justice background, so I just wanted to go in the law enforcement field too.
Bro, we got so much shit in
Come on,
common.
man, so much in common, bro. You know, it's like I'm like the little version of you,
Yeah.
and I'm like catching up, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. And so in that, I was like, man, I really need to get like my shit together. Like, so after that, that's when I realized. I said, you know what, this girl right here, she opened up. She said, you know what, you can come with me, and you know, I'll help you. And bro, mind you, I didn't have a car at the time because I wrecked my car. So she let me use her car to go to my trainings. And mind you, bro, it was like, a train was like an hour away. I'm going from Maryland to Virginia.
Yeah.
And I got to sit in traffic for like, you know, 20, 30 minutes. But here I am, bro, have no transportation. And here she is. She allows me to use her car.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, you know, she was working at Outback Steakhouse. So she got me some food, bro. After
was
I got
eating good.
So I was eating good.
Yeah.
I had a place to stay.
Yeah.
I had a place for she didn't even realize what she was doing to me. She was creating safety for me because I had nowhere else to go.
Have you shared this with her?
Absolutely.
Sounds like a dope young lady.
Absolutely, bro. Like I shared this with because I had to let her know that I apologize for mishandling her, for marrying her too soon. Because honestly, bro, as a man, mind you, bro, I love my wife. Like my wife is truly somebody that I would literally lay my life down for.
Shit,
Like-
I would hope so, nigga. You married her.
No. But no, seriously. Like,
Nah, I get you, bro.
Like, but that's the level of love. That's
Yeah.
the level of love I have for her, and it's not because it's like, oh, like man, you would really take it. No, but like seriously, because I learned how to do that as a child.
Yeah.
So I'm doing what I know, but this time I'm doing it from the heart, not just the mind.
Yeah.
See, it's one thing to do stuff from the mind. We can do things from the mind all we want. But if we do things from the heart and the mind, that's how we stay aligned. That's the reason why people are aligning themselves and things are just flowing so effortlessly. And, people are having all these connections and the energy is just there because they have the heart set and the mindset.
Yeah. That's dope, bro. I got married early, but I ain't have the strength that you had. I got married, but I was still doing me. I'm just learning how to settle down with one.
And that's good, bro. And keep that and let it be exclusive.
Nah, facts. It's dope.
I'm telling, bro. Let me tell you
It's
something
dope.
right now, man. One of the things I'm learning now is exclusivity. Like, keep things exclusive, bro.
Yeah.
And that's why, I don't say certain things or I don't talk about certain things, especially when it comes to my wife, because this is my way of protecting not just her but also me.
Yeah.
And the things that we are dealing with, because at the end of the day, man, like when we leave this earth, we can't take nobody else's problems with us. We have to answer for the stuff that we are accountable for.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if you really, let me tell you something, bro. I'm gonna give you this key, and it's going to change the way you think about like wealth. Watch this. If you want to reach a level of wealth that you dream of, I'm talking about not just dream of, but I'm talking about dream beyond.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to forgive what you think you can't forget.
Say that one more time, because I know somebody don't forgot that one. What you said?
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna say this again. If you really want to unlock your life, if you want to see favor be unleashed in your life, you have to learn how to forgive what you think you can't forget.
That's deep.
Because when you do that, bro, that's the reason why you can go back and help them. You're able to lend a helping hand, even though they still may reject you, and be like, yeah, man, what you're talking about just don't make sense to me. All right, cool. That's fine. However, I still extended my hand.
We're going to talk about that because that was another part of our conversation of how you can have that love for others, but the love that they give back is not the love that you want because they trying to neglect and, nah, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. We're going to get into that. So I want to talk about, and we're going to move past this, but you shared with me that you and your wife, y'all went through a 7-month separation.
Yeah, bro, we took a break, man. We took a break, and, we knew it was needed. Well, she knew it was needed more than I did, and, I got to a place where it's just like, Joseph, like, you were not hearing your wife. Like, your wife was telling you so much, but you were so cocky, you were so arrogant, you thought you had it all, you thought you was doing your thing, you thought you was doing this, you was buying Fendi this, you was buying Gucci that, the influencers were telling you, you got to look the part to do this, so that way you can, and it's like, damn, bro, I'm sitting here being manipulated by the world and losing the very thing I love.
So you
watch this, bro, and then that's what led all of that, bro. I say all of that to say that's what led to that accident I had on August 1st of 2021. Because honestly, bro, I lost $3,500 that I had just made in a couple of days. I lost it all in an hour.
Talk about that. Let's get into it, because goddamn, you've been talking about the accident since we got you.
Yeah, bro, because this
take me through that. What date was it?
It was August 1st of 2021, bro. This I put it this way. This is talking real, right? Y'all want to talk real?
Talking personal, baby.
August 1st of 2021 was the day that I died. I lost 12% of my blood. I shattered my ankle. I broke my leg. The blood was leaking. And I mean, first of all, bro, I was so angry. Like, and this is the anger part, bro, because what people don't realize is that when you carry so much anger, you get to what's called a boiling point. And, bro, I was so frustrated at the fact that I had tried, oh, my bad, bro, my bad. I had tried everything. And, like, I was taking 2 steps forward, and I got knocked 3 steps back. And I'm like, yo, when is this shit going to end?
Yeah.
Like, it's got to stop with me, because I'm tired of living from paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of having someone tell me to do this, and I really don't feel like doing that, because I know that my passion and my purpose is telling me to do this. Like, I know God is telling me to do that. Like, what do I do? I'm confused because I have all this on my plate.
Yeah.
And so in that break, bro, I learned that, Joseph, you are the most important thing in your family right now. And when you can't take care of you, you can't take care of them.
Yeah.
And, bro, the thing that woke me up is when my wife told me she had she had the level of respect and the level of love, like real love, to say, Joseph, right now, you're not fit to lead this family. And that woke me up, bro, because I realized that she was not safe. So in that, I began to really just pray, man, and I got desperate. Like, I'm talking about, bro, you talking about making a last-ditch effort in life to get back everything you want and more?
Yeah.
Like, to get, not to get back, like, not to get back better, but just to get back new, get back restored. Like, I was praying for those things, man. I spent hours throughout my day. Mind you, I wasn't working, and I was trying to find a job, and I had no money, bro, and bills coming in, all this other stuff. I'm like, God, what do I do? And I remember, bro, it was in June when, you know, she came back to me she came back.
Wait, so she actually left the crib?
No. I'm talking about, like, she came back in the house one day.
Okay.
You know, she came back in the house one day, and, you know, she was like, hey, like, I want to see this new you you're talking about. Like, you know, because she started seeing some changes that I was going through.
Yeah.
And so that's when she started to, you know, just let me go through those things, you know, and experience them for myself. But what I didn't realize. Oh, my bad. Yeah, let me tighten that real quick. There you go. Boom. What I realized is, bro, you know, we were having a conversation. She said, you know, like, I've seen you grow, you know, when you didn't really have much to fall back on. Because honestly, bro, I didn't have no. When I had the accident, I didn't have much to fall back on, bro. Like, how many? I had more. Watch this, bro. This is how fake social media makes people. I had people that had my personal number reach out to me more on Instagram than texting me after I made the post.
Tell me about it.
Ain't that some bull? That's some. You got to be a level of an effed up friend that you got somebody's personal number that's close to you, but yet you're going to comment on their page instead of personally texting them? Come on, man. Where's the level of humanity at?
Yep.
And here I am, bro, sitting in this hospital losing my life.
So let me back up, because this was a part of our conversation on last week. I took, I don't know, probably about a week explaining to the public how some of these influencers are and how they're fucking people's homes up, because they hop on social media, they fake this lifestyle, but in reality they don't live that life. But what harmed me the most, or what crushed me the most, is some of the things that I was hearing in these rooms. And that's kind of why I took a step back away from everybody, actually, not a little bit, but everybody, because I realized you competing against motherfuckers who really don't have it. You're competing with people who...
Hold on, bro. Say...
No, for real. Like,
say that again, bro. No, because people need to hear that, bro. You said you're competing. They're competing with people who don't really have it.
Yeah. And this, me, because, and I'm unraveling this so that the people can understand. I've shared this already before, but I'll share it again. I was traveling so much that I lost my family. I had to call home and ask what size my children were. I didn't know what my kids liked. And I really woke up. I'm like, you risking what you said you would never do, which is neglect your children when you have children, because that's what was done to you when you were a kid. Yeah, they got all this money and everything that they asked for, but they don't have your goddamn time. And so when I finally hit that brick wall and sat to myself and asked myself, are you really living through what you said you would be? And that's a better father than your father was. And now, of course, I am by a long shot.
Yeah, for sure.
But do they really have your time? Do you really know who your kids are? Or are you just the man figure in the house that fucking yells all day long?
Wow,
right?
man.
But when I was sitting thinking to myself, I've been living well for quite some time.
Yeah.
Way well. Way before the internet.
And for real, bro, how does that truly, because, you know, I always wanted to really ask you, like, how does it truly feel? Like, where you are right now in 2024, bro, how does it truly feel?
To be honest with you, I sometimes, I guess because I have lived great for so long, I don't realize what I have.
Jesus, man.
When I walk in this house, it's small. When a person that never been here, they're like, God damn. When I get into my Rolls Royce, it's a car. But somebody outside would just love to be able to do that. So I'm humble. I'm grateful. But I think I sometimes forget what's actually in front of me.
Yeah, bro.
Now that can sound like, well, shit, do you appreciate it? Of course I do. But it's my norm. So I don't really reflect. I don't give myself enough credit for where I am. Like Jamal often be like, bro, how in the hell do you da-da-da, or why do you do da-da-da? And that's what I know. Yeah. So again, I'm humble and I appreciate where I am, but I'm hungry for more.
Gotta be, man.
When I really reached that level, and my girl and I, we was talking the other day, and she's like, what is it gonna take? I said, shit, probably like 500 M's. She said, well, shit, how close are you, goddamn it? I said, I'm there. I'm getting there. But that's when I think I'll be able to sit back and be like, you did this, motherfucker. Because right now it's all right. But until I can look up in the sky and see that skyscraper, and it says 100+ years on that joint, like that's when I'll be good. When my kids are good, then I'll be good. But it of course, I love my life, but I want more.
You should.
And I hope nobody takes that as, motherfucker, I wish I was sitting in your shoes. I really appreciate my life. I'm grateful for what I have, but I want more.
As you should, bro.
And hopefully that answers your question.
Oh, no, bro. No, that does, man, because, that reminds me of, to always be humble, because honestly, bro, one of the things that I dream of is, being able to have a Rolls Royce and, a Lambo and all those other different cars, but not just for me, but I want to be able to take those cars to my community and, have kids, just do little ride-alongs, you know what I'm saying? Just, like, give them a taste, because what we don't realize is we're allowed, oh, my God, man. If people knew the level of faith children really had, oh, my God, man, like, children have so much childlike faith that, even my daughter, I'll give you an example, bro. My daughter goes around the house. One of her favorite songs is, this year, blessing. Yeah. Like she loves this song, and I let her dance and I let her sing that, because she's learning how to speak those things that are not as though they are. Because honestly, I have no idea what she's even thinking about when she's but if we're teaching her when she's young, just imagine when she gets 20, 30 years old, bro.
Facts.
That's how you change. That's how you shift the wealth in your family. That's how you do it. You get them to speak first. Because at the end of the day, money wasn't created until it was what? Spoken.
That's dope, bro. So let me back up just a little bit. We was talking about these fake ass influences. No, we get into a very serious topic here, because again, I wanted to bring light to how some of these influences have broken up homes, and you share it. That's a part of how and why you and your wife separated. Because you were influenced and you got a little cocky because, you got people saying you need to wear this and you need to do. And I can concur with you. I spent probably about $300,000-$400,000 back in 2020 on jewelry and clothes and the fine dining and all that extra stuff. Because not that I was influenced, because that was kind of my life, but I took it up a goddamn notch. Right. But because I was speaking on all these different stages and going into these different rooms, I felt as though I couldn't walk in there with I don't look like what I've been like. I don't look like what I've been through sweatshirt. I always felt as though I had to have on the Gucci or the name brand stuff. But again, when I had time to reflect, I realized you rock your own shit. Rock your own. It's cool to pop out in a designer here and there, but wear your own shit, because I promise you're going to touch more people wearing that than you are wearing that damn Gucci.
Absolutely, bro.
The people that you really trying to touch, you can wear that. I don't look like what I've been through. And that's what I started doing. I stopped wearing that designer shit, and I started wearing my own shit. When I started speaking on those stages, I'm rocking right what I got on right now. Some sweatpants, my Balenciaga, little sock boots, and my T-shirt, right? Because, again, reflecting, what are you doing this for? Are you doing this for the money, or are you really doing this to change the people's lives? Exactly. And so when you told me the last week that, you kind of went through that phase of losing your family because you were influenced, and then you just repeated it here, that you got a little cocky. And I just want to remind you all, if you feel as though that you have to, I'm going to speak to the ladies right quick, respectfully. Ladies, you don't have to have the newest goddamn Chanel bag and Louis bag and all this extra shit because you're seeing Cardi B and all them other chicks having it, right? Stop putting the pressure on these young men that really love you, but they out here doing crazy shit and sideways shit because they feel as though in order to please you and give you things that you want and keep you, they got to go out here and do sideways stuff to get these things for you. If you really love that man, Let him love you how he love you. Now, of course, you have things that you want, but if you know that guy can't really give you that, don't put that pressure on him to think, oh, if I don't give her this bag, then she's not gonna accept me. It's too much of that. And the same thing for the fellas. If you fucking with a young lady who just don't stroke you the right way, don't try to mold her into being what you want her to be. Let her go. Don't keep yourself in that relationship because you're seeing what everybody else is doing, right? Again, back to your influences. These motherfuckers that scream they have these lovely marriages, they don't.
Listen, man.
Right?
They really don't.
They don't.
They don't.
So don't compare yourself to motherfuckers that you see online. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that at that. But I wanted to share that because they can hear from me all day long. But to actually hear you say, nah, that's a part of the reason why.
Yeah, bro. It really
things
was
went left.
It was.
I think the people needed to hear and see that because when a boat goes say, oh, nigga, you hating that. Nah, it's not hating. I really love what I do. I really love that I can be who I am and change somebody else's life and give somebody else motivation. We're gonna get into it, but we're gonna finish up with you. We got into the what did separation look like though? Did you guys stay in the same household and just went into separate rooms, or did she go back to mom and dad house? How did that separation look?
So we spent some time apart, separate rooms and things like that, and we just got to just kind of know each other a little differently. And I just decided to, just, okay, well, you know what, Joseph, you got some things you got to focus on, bro. Like, you're the head of the household. So listen, like, focus on you, like, focus on your mental health. So I started to speak to my therapist a lot more. I was checking in with my therapist like maybe 2-3 times a week, bro.
Yeah.
They were getting tired of me. But the thing is, bro, I needed it. Like, it was for me. And, my life coach, I would check in, maybe about like once or twice a month, but I was actively like putting whatever little money I had from mom and dad or whatever, like, wherever I got it from, I was doing like little jobs here and there, what I could, because honestly, I still couldn't really walk that well.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning how to do that, going to the gym, doing all that. And mind you, bro, I live with pain every single day of my life. And here I am still going, man, like, because I've been given a second chance at life. So there are things that I realize I get to do over. Yeah. So I'm utilizing that time and I'm loving it. Yeah. And so within that, bro, I've allowed to grow within myself and be able to, okay, how do I actively listen to my wife? Like, how do I hear her? Like, how do I really hear her? How do I get to know her again? And so in that, bro, I've allowed myself to just submit to her by caring for her in a way where she knows, hey, I just want you to be safe. Like, I know we have our issues. I know we're going through some stuff, but hey, like, at the end of the day, Joseph still got your back.
Let me ask you this.
Joseph is still here. Like, I'm going to hold you down because I made a commitment to say that I was going to be with you for richer, for worse. You know what I'm saying? For richer, for poor, for better, for worse. In sickness and in health. Like, those things actually meant something to me. And at the end of the day, bro, as much as I kept telling her that, my actions was like, yo, you didn't show that. Yeah. And
real quick, because it's gonna go along with what you're saying. Yeah. Was divorce ever on the table?
No.
Okay.
No.
So it was never. You know what? You don't fucked up so bad. I can't be with you. It was this.
No. It was we just had a really big disagreement. And like I said, I'm saying things to protect.
No. We good.
Yeah, we good. But
I wanted to dive deeper into this because, and this is something personally for me that I'm learning. When it comes down to relationships, if it's not that bad to where y'all gotta go y'all separate ways, sometimes we gotta, especially us as men, we gotta put our pride to the side and open our ears. Me, I have my way. Hey, it's my way or the highway. Yeah. And that's something that I'm working on. Mm-hmm. Jamal probably over there like, yeah, whatever, nigga. But that's something that I had to work on when it came down to relationship, because I think a lot of relationships that have potential to be great relationships were ended because we didn't want to stop and listen to one another. We wanted to throw the towel in so fast and just be like, you know what? You don't hear what I'm saying. You don't hear what I'm saying, and let's just be done. So to actually, as young people as well too, because we feel as though we still got the juice and we can go find another one. But to hear you say as a young man that, nah, I wasn't ready to leave my wife, but I was ready to listen to what she was saying and step up to the plate like she needed me to. And I just want the people to know, especially the men out there, if you got a strong woman in your corner that's willing to see you through every single goal that you have and she's just telling you, baby, shut the fuck up and listen to what I'm saying, so that you
Please,
can be the man that I need you to be.
Please listen to her, please, because at the end of the day, what we have to, and here's what really made me like sit down and shut up and listen to my wife, man, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Like, I realized that my wife is favor. Like, there's so much favor in the peace that she brings into my home.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, I gotta like just shut up, listen to her, and just stay out of the way, bro, and do your thing and chill out and relax and, you know, just be a man. Like, yes, you can still be a man and she's gonna be a woman, but just as long as you can communicate, as long as you can trust, like literally just keep people out of your business.
Yeah.
Keep people out of your business.
Yeah.
And work with what you have. I'm telling you, bro, as long as you communicate and as long as you just are honest about what you're going through, then it's like, what can you really lose?
Yeah.
You know, do you really have something to throw away?
I think for us, and I don't know. I think for me,
And that's just like relationships in general. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I see a lot of people, you know, like they don't have that guidance. Like, nobody teaches us how to embrace the storms.
yeah.
Nobody really does that. Nobody takes the time because everybody wants to sweep it under the rug, and that's where it stops.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people had an attitude, shit, I can find better. I mean, what you can, but I think sometimes, again, like in your case, you could have very well been like, all right, cool, I ain't who you want me to be, I'm out. But you had the discipline, you had the that's it, the discipline. You had the discipline to say, all right, this is who I want, and I know what she brings to the table. Maybe I am fucking up. Let me do some self-digging and changing up. But what made you go to therapy?
honestly, bro, what really made me go to therapy is when. And honestly, bro, and I'm leading in this because, you know, I know we're running low on time. This is the reason why I wrote the book, because I got to a place where I was in the house and I was ready to commit suicide again with my 2 sons in the house.
Damn, bro, you would throw that on me when I'm about to wrap it up, and you know I'm gonna go in. We got damn an hour and a half in, but nah,
Hey, seriously, man,
we good. We got plenty
yeah.
of film time, and I'm sure the people enjoy this. So
Yeah.
you had suicide as a kid.
And here
And
I was,
then again,
here I was again, man.
as a grown-ass man.
As a grown-ass man, bro, here I am again facing suicide. And, bro, I was there, man, and I said, you know what? What would happen right now? Like, what would I leave behind? Like, how much of a life would I leave behind if I go now? And bro, I kid you not, man, the moment that I decided not to do it, my sons had so much, and it was like a vibrant energy that just hit them, and they were just like, they just loved like their dad, and they showed so much love to me, man. That just made my day, man. And honestly, this is like my first time actually really talking about it, because I've never.
You know, I was about to say I'm gonna share mine, but my daughter is sitting right here behind the cameras, and
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, bro.
I'm glad you didn't, bro. I'm gonna just say that.
I appreciate it, man.
Because we definitely gonna have some lunch, and we definitely gonna spend some time, and I'll share it with you one day, and I'll share it to the people. It's just right now my daughter's sitting right here, so I
for
can't.
sure, bro. So yeah, so that's what led to the book, man. You know,
But yeah, that's why I was going after the whole therapy thing.
Yeah.
But let's snap back to therapy real quick before we get to the book, because everybody that love me keeps saying, Rashad, you need goddamn therapy.
bro, let me tell you, man. Therapy is so. It's so refreshing, man.
But let me tell you why I won't do therapy though, man. I'm gonna keep it 100 because we talking personal.
Wait,
baby.
you don't want to do therapy?
No. Well, I'm not. Okay. Well, now today I've told my girl, and I told my best friend Alex. I said, bruh, I'm going. I told my girl, all right, I'm going. Y'all motherfuckers like, cause they love me. When I tell you, I never met another dude that I can sit on the phone with all day long. Like, man, when my girl was in Ghana for a whole month, man, this nigga on the phone like we in a relationship. Like you know what I'm saying? Like me, him, and Jamal, we'll sit on the phone and just we just talking. It's this we sharing about our family. We sharing about what we want to been through. He talking me through certain shit. I'm talking him through certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Jamal, he back in the gym heavy because they in competition. Sir. You know what I'm saying? So it's a genuine love from them. But I never wanted to go to therapy because I dealt with 2 chicks that were therapists. And
oh, come on, bro.
No,
okay.
for real. To know how they responded to shit.
Oh, come on, man.
And how that thing can make them go crazy. I was like, nah, hell no. Why would I look like going to sit on somebody's couch to tell them my problem? And then also, all jokes aside, but I was serious about that. All jokes aside, like I told you earlier, I don't really like talking about my past because it puts me into this dark zone.
Yeah, I feel you.
It takes me into this tunnel and I got anger problems to this day. I snap on a motherfucking, and not as fast as I used to, but.
Progress.
I'll snap, but it's more so, I think because growing up, I didn't have anybody to talk to really.
Yeah.
That I learned how to self-cope, and learned how to deal with things on my own. And so I've really just been against it. But again, I vowed to my boy and I told my girl, give me until June, because right now I'm locked in for 6 months.
Okay.
And if I start talking about shit, I hope y'all prepared for what's going to come out of that damn therapy. But I am going to go and seek therapy. I guess for now, my therapy is spending time with my kids, cooking.
And this right
here.
No,
this is therapy for me, because I'm able to share little bits and pieces of my life, but I'm also changing lives as well. Shooting, I love it. I'm like that when it comes to shooting.
Let's go. We gotta go to the range, man.
Yeah, we can do that. I have my different outlets.
Okay, yeah.
But I will partake in some therapy. So and truth be told, everyone that I've spoken to that has taken therapy, it's been nothing but. Look, Alex calling right now. We actually gonna answer this live in the middle of a set. I was just talking about you, goddammit. I just telling him, man, I love this nigga to death, man. We sit on the phone like girls, but we in the middle of a goddamn set. I'm about to end this in about 10 minutes. I'll call your ass back.
All right, bet.
All right. But no, I'm definitely gonna go and tap into the therapy. But real quick, because I think we we rolled into 2 hours. This is dope though. But my next one will go probably about 3 or 4. So we're gonna have parts to that one probably. But let's talk about your book, bro. You say you've been writing since you had a book since you were 9. Now, is this book a part of this book?
Oh, no, it's not, man. Okay. I wrote that book, I was just writing about, cars and dancing.
Okay.
Got served Fast and Furious.
So let's talk about your book now. What's the title? What drove you to writing it?
Is called Unlock Your Life from the Voice of a Broken Man. And this book, man, just really gives people a synopsis of like what it's like to expose your vulnerability. Like no one likes to be vulnerable. And that's the reason why we aren't healed, because the harder your heart, the harder it is to heal.
Yeah. And
that's what you're going to learn in therapy, bro. So, even as you go into therapy, like I want you to let the process.
Yeah.
Like when you really go to therapy, like let the process. And what I mean by that is just rest in the things that, you're sharing with your therapist. It's not going to go anywhere. Like let that truly be your safe space where you trust that therapist is not going to tell anyone else your business.
Yeah.
And when you take that approach, bro, I'm telling you, man, it's like a weight being really, like you really feel a weight being lifted off. Like people talk about it. That's a real feeling because it's energy. It's energy being transferred.
So when does it drop? Where can the people catch it?
So listen, man, this book, y'all, I am working on, I'm working on dropping it on my birthday, which is March 12th. So I'm not releasing any official dates right now because I haven't released most of the content that I'm producing now because there's a short documentary that I'm producing with this book.
Yeah.
And so I want to host a book signing event, where people can come out and get copies of the book. But I also want to be able to show, the transition of, hey, like this right here is being able to open up the conversation and deal with mental health.
Yeah.
Like my purpose in life is mental health. Like people talk about, men are always the problem. You got everything starts with men, mental breakdown, menopause, menstrual cycle. Okay, that's societal poison. Like men are not the problem, women are not the problem. He's not the problem, she's not the problem, and we not the problem. The problem is the motherfucking problem.
Yeah.
So when we can look at the problem, we can take ourselves out of the situation and just take the problem and look at the problem. Communicate, solve the problem. Now, we're not against each other because the battle is not against flesh and blood. It never was. So why are we acting like that?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. When it does come out, I'm gonna be your first customer. I'm gonna buy your first 10 books.
Dang, bro.
We're gonna make sure that people get it. So if you'd like a copy of Mr. Flood's book, just comment below. And I'll be sure that my gift from me to you is going to come from Mr. Flood.
Dang, bro, that's love.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. As you can see, we get real deep here on Talking Personal. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And every single Wednesday at 8 p.m., we drop nothing but these Talking Personals. We catch you on the next episode on Talking Personal, baby.
It's your boy Flood, the Watchman. We out of here.
That was a good one, bro.